This is Kuldrin's Krypt, Season 1, Episode 9, for February 4th, 2017.
Welcome. Welcome to my dungeon.
Welcome to Kuldrin's Krypt. I'm your host, Master Kuldrin. If you're new to the show, this is a place to dispel myths, get rid of stereotypes, and answer your questions about BDSM. You can call in at 865-268-4005 to leave your questions, or visit the Krypt at kuldrinscrypt.com. On the Krypt tonight, it's part one of a three-part series. We're going to unearth the truth about red flags, fake doms, and predators. Hello, Krypt listeners. This is Master Kuldrin, and I need your help. I'm putting together an episode based on humor in BDSM, and I'm going to use your stories. So this is up to you. I want this launched by April Fool's Day, so I will need your responses in by March 25th, 2017. This is a PG-13 podcast, so any vulgarity or profanity will be edited out. Other than that, you pretty much have free reign. Leave me your email address in the voicemail, and for your participation, if I use your story, and I will be using multiple stories in the podcast, I will send you a Kuldrin's Krypt Unearth the Truth exclusive sticker. There's only two ways to get these. The other way is to become a patron supporter. You can go to kuldrinscrypt.com/support me for information on that. If you would like to make a one-time donation or sign up for a monthly donation, you can donate as little as $1 a month up to, I believe, $25. At a certain level, you get a Kuldrin's Krypt t-shirt. At the highest level, we have hoodies that we're giving away. There are a limited number of those, so you may want to get in on that now. I look forward to hearing your stories, and I thank you so much for your support. And now, those rules to love by. Rule number 1, safe, sane, consensual, and informed. Rule number 2, kinky, KNKI, from the KNKI app, available on all platforms. That stands for knowledge, no intolerance, kindness, and integrity. And the quote from Mr. Paul Young: submission is not about authority, and it's not about obedience. It is all about relationships of love and respect. Now on to red flags, fake dominance, and predators. And as usual, I've done my research. I've talked to people. I've looked articles up online. I'm drawing from my own experience. A large part of this actually comes from submissiveguide.com. You can find a link to that website and the article in the show notes. Go to kuldrinscrypt.com/109. Now that the disclaimer's out of the way, we can get into part 1 of 3 of this discussion on red flags, fake dominance, and predators. And to start the discussion, we need to get 2 definitions out of the way. First, what exactly are red flags? They're anything that warns you of impending dread, danger, or threat. Second, what is a fake dominant? This is someone who is just out for sex, fantasy, and an easy lay. Fake dominants may also be predators, but we'll get into that later in the series. Most of the time, you're going to be dealing with the fake dominance, so that's what this segment, the first 2, pretty much focuses on. Now that we have so many online versions of dominance, we'll blend the 2 for the sake of this conversation between online and the real time, because it's likely that you will first meet someone online and then move into real life relationships. The most obvious fake dominants, they're going to want you to skip straight to sex, point blank. They may start their conversation with you out sweetly enough, but it is soon going to become sexually oriented. Cybersex may be suggested, or you'll be pushed to play on the first date, or well before you would normally be ready to. They don't get to know you for who you are first. you're just a booty call to them. And unfortunately, that is the case of this. And it is happening more and more and more, especially with 50 Shades, as I've said previously. Fake dominants will also exaggerate their experience level. It does not matter what someone says unless they can prove that. Don't forget that. Chances are a 25-year-old does not have 10 years of experience unless they're counting their fantasies. However, you also can't just judge experience by a number. Someone can say they have 10 years of experience, but if 6 years of that was spent on a break, not in a relationship, or in a vanilla relationship, then that's not experience. Fake dominants will also try to dom you without a relationship being present. This could be dictating what you're supposed to wear at your first meeting, when you're to be available online for chat, things of this nature. Setting up rules and trying to make you do them before it's even agreed upon or talked about, that's a huge, huge red flag. If you haven't negotiated these things, then it is not informed consent. Some DOMs say they have a lot of references. They can list names, but when you ask for phone numbers or email addresses, FetLife information, they'll always come up with a reason to not have the requested information. References are meant to be useful. If they can't give you contact information so you can check them out, there again, huge red flag. Honest dominants will not only give you the information, but they're going to be happy that you've checked them out. Remember, those that have nothing to hide, hide nothing. And if you're uncertain about the vetting process, go back to kuldrinskrypt.com/108. That one is on vetting and consensual non-consent to give you an idea of where to start. Fake dominants may also try to get you to not meet them in public, and they can be pretty freaking persuasive about this. Oh, just come onto the house so we can get to know each other in private. They'll be sweet and loving and tell you anything that you need to hear to get you out of the public's eye and away from safety so that they can take advantage of you. Do not, and I can't stress this enough, do not meet anyone that you don't know in a private location, and set up your safe calls. If the dom refuses to let you check in, and sometimes they're just really good at distracting you so you forget or you don't think about it. That's why a lot of people that I've spoken with about this make sure that they set an alarm on their phone, and when it goes off, no matter what they're doing, they stop, they make their safe call, and they may schedule another one. I talked to one person who was just really attracted to somebody but fairly uncertain about the situation, and she set up safe calls every half hour, or safe texts every half hour, and stuck to it. And the dom, started making a joke about it playfully, but, was okay with it, and that was actually what got him another date, you could say, with her, and now they've been together for, I want to say 5 or 6 years. It is something that is very important, and it is absolutely necessary, and every dom should know this. If they don't know it, then they're just not a dom. They don't have the experience that they're claiming to. And again, if this is taking place, get out of there immediately. In the date, you don't even have to be nice about it. Just end it and leave the restaurant, whatever. Another big red flag to be cautious of is if they're wanting to get to know you and you're on good terms, but they won't share their phone number with you, where they live, their personal information, but yet they're expecting all this information from you and for you to open up and be really intimate with them or have cyber sex with them. Or even if that's not what they're trying to get you to do, but they're still just not sharing all this information, but yet they're demanding that you share your information with them. Also, if they're only able to call between narrow time frames, that's a big red flag. Not only fake dominance, but these are the cheaters. When they're laying out certain parameters of, I can only talk between this time and this time, they come up with all kinds of reasons why, or you're chatting with them online and then all of a sudden they just disappear. And this continues to happen, and they've always got a good excuse. Oh, my internet connection went down. BS. Internet connections very seldom go down, and very seldom go down frequently in the same location. They've got a pretty good system in place nowadays. So, yeah, be very cautious of that one, unless you just really enjoy having your heart ripped out because you're the other woman, and I don't care how many times they say it, they're not going to leave their other person, their wife, their husband, whatever the case may be. Finally, is a dominant requesting or trying to force you to change something before you've agreed to a relationship? This could be along the lines of changing your hair because they don't like it, losing weight, breaking up with friends because they're bad influences. No one should make you change. If they're trying to turn you into someone that you're not, then they need to go find someone that is that person that they're trying to create from the start. Yes, as a dominant, it is my job to train my submissives, but first off, that doesn't just start right out of the gate at, hello, I'm Kuldrin, bow down and kiss my boot. That is just not the way that works. It's something that is negotiated on over and over and continuously. I joke with someone that I'm currently talking with right now that is a potential submissive. She acts very submissive toward me, and I do act a little dominant with her, but we're not quite there yet. But we are in negotiations, and there's some things that I have to prepare within myself to be at that point. But I've been very open with her about that, and that's not a problem. So be very cautious of that. And where I was going with that was she just got her hair cut. She's got shorter hair, and I am not a fan of short hair. Yeah, so I joke with her, well, that's a deal breaker. There's no such thing as a unicorn. But, it's just a joke. We're not there yet, and that's not what it's all about. And if it really was a deal breaker, then I'm not going to, right off the bat just try to make her that. I would let her know, hey, if you prefer your hair short, that's cool. I like you, we get along, we can be great friends, we may be play partners every now and then, but it won't go any further than that, something like that. But you can't just immediately, well, I'm a dominant and you're submissive, so I'm going to force you to not cut your hair, to wear a certain color each day of the week for nail polish or these types of things. That's just way over the top. That's micromanaging. That is being domineering and not dominant, which most new doms are domineering. Even the ones that do their research, that read the books, that talk to people, that join the community, they can be a little domineering at first. It's kind of like starting over as a teenager. Of course, I was a teenager when I started out in the lifestyle, but nonetheless, it can be rough. That's just a side note, but use that as a cautionary tale, I guess. Fake dominants are everywhere and have many, many tricks up their sleeve. So use this 3-part series as a starting point, because the list of things that they can do to try to get you to believe in them and open up, it's really an endless list of things. There are people out there that just read other people like a book, play them like a fiddle, whatever analogy you want to use, and they take no care or concern